Hello Pokemon fans, my name is Dracot and welcome to another Pokemon deck review. For this video, we are going to be reviewing the Greninja EX deck. Now, keep in mind that this deck is a fan deck, so it might not be that competitively viable. But because of the new format of Stellar Crown and the addition of more powerful normal types that are weak to fighting, Greninja EX might see a little more recognition. So this deck profile is going to be delving in the core cards that the Greninja EX deck has. Let's get into the deck review. Kicking off our deck review, we have Froakie. These 70 HP Froakie cards would be used to evolve into your Greninja. Nothing special, but it has its Tri Bouncing attack which does 30 damage for 1 water energy, and it has 1 retreat cost. Here's Frogadier. 1 copy of Frogadier with 90 HP, numbing water, and 1 retreat cost. Basically, a failsafe for anyone out there that will devolve your Greninja EX. Now, time for your namesake card, Greninja EX. A fighting type Terra 310 HP card with 1 energy cost for Shinobi Blade to look any card of your deck after attacking, and Mirage Barrage. A 1 water energy and 2 colorless energy card that can deal 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, whether in the bench or not, to discard 2 energy. Very nice synergy with a card that we will be discussing later. Now, time for its supporting Pokemon, Snorunt. Now, it will probably be obvious what card we will be discussing next after Snorunt, but it's a relatively simple card, 60 HP, with either Astonish or Ice Shard. Nothing too special, but you know what is special? It's Evolution! Froslass. Froslass has the ability Freezing Shroud, which during Pokemon Checkup, putting 1 damage counters on each Pokemon that has an ability. A great way to whittle down large tanky Pokemon with abilities, or small supporting Pokemon like Kirlia with abilities so that they can deal damage while on the bench for a freezing cold knockout. Here, we have 1 copy of Rotom, a really nice early game card that allows you to draw 3 cards to stabilize your economy. 190 HP, 1 retreat cost, critical card. If you don't prefer to use Rotom, you can use Cleffa, a 30 HP card that for no energy cost at all, allow you to draw cards until you have 7 cards in your hand. No retreat cost, very good card for the early game and for drawing cards in some occasions. Finally, for a Pokemon, we have Blood Moon or Seluna, a card that deals 240 damage with its ability that its energy cost gets less and less for each prize card your opponent takes. It's a card mainly used for late game closure and sometimes even used in the mid game. For our supporters, we have Boss's Orders, 3 copies of Boss's Orders, which allows you to switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. A great way to get some 2 prizes off their bench for an instant 1-hit knockout or some of their supporting pillars. Next up, we have Iono. 3 copies of Iono that is mainly used for disruption or to make each player shuffle their hand into their deck so that you can refresh your hand and disrupt your opponent's hand. Here we have 3 copies of Arven, a really nice card to get your item cards and tool cards so that you can support your Greninjas and make your board state better. Here we have 1 copy of Professor Turo's scenario. So for those situations where you need to put a Pokemon from your bench or the active spot into your hand, to, for example, keep them from harm if they're valuable 2-pricer, or not allow your opponent to damage them. Here we have one copy of Irida, a really nice card that allows you to search one water Pokemon from your deck and one item card. It's really good if you want to find either Froslass, Froakie, and some items like Rare Candy and Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Speaking of Rare Candy, we have 4 copies of it. A card that allows you to evolve your basic Pokemon into its final stage 2 by using the item. A very important card to evolve your Froakies into your Greninjas. Here, we have 4 copies of Ultra Ball, a card that allows you to discard 2 other cards from your hand to get any Pokemon from your deck, whether that be Greninja, Froslass, Frogadier, Blood Moon or Luna, or anything else. Very versatile card that goes well with Greninja and most other decks. Here, we can see 4 copies of Buddy-Buddy Poffin, an item that allows you to search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less, then putting them into your bench. A really nice card that can help you get Froakies or Snorunt. Then, we have 2 copies of Nest Ball, a card that allows you to search your deck for a basic Pokemon, then put it into your bench for no drawback at all. A really nice card to search some basic Pokemon like Fezandipiti, if you have that into your deck, Rotom, Blood Moon or Luna, or sometimes Froakie and Snorunt. Next up, we have Energy Search, 1 copy of Energy Search that allows you to search your deck for a basic energy card, then reveal it and put it into your hand. A card for those situations where you just needed energy without discarding any cards from your hand, for those rushed and urgent situations. Here, we have 1 copy of Earthen Vessel. Earthen Vessel is a card that allows you to discard 1 card from your hand, then draw 2 energy cards from your deck. It's a really nice card to get some energy at a reliable price, and it's 2 energy as well. Here, we have 1 copy of Counter Catcher, a card that if your opponent has less price cards than you, allows you to get 1 of your opponent's bench Pokemon and put it into their active spot. Again, a very nice way to get knockouts on important Pokemon. Here, we have 1 copy of Lost Vacuum, a card that allows you to discard any tool and stadium card in the board at that current moment. A very nice way to remove things like Bravery Charm, remove things like Pokestop, or anything that allows your opponent to get stronger, at the cost of putting 1 card from your hand into the Lost Zone. Here, we have 1 copy of Snorunt, a card that allows you to get 3 cards from your discard pile into your deck. A great way to get more cards into your deck from your discard pile, like if you're lacking energy, or some of your Greninjas are knocked out. A really nice card to support that thought. For our ace spec of choice, we have the Unfair Stamp, that if your opponent knocked a Pokemon from your active spot last turn, it will make them shuffle their hand, and it will make you shuffle your hand into your opponent's deck. They draw 2 cards, you draw 5 cards. Very nice hand disruption, hand refreshen, and a nice card overall. Here, we have 1 copy of Double Turbo Energy, a card that works well with Greninja's Mirage Barrage. You can attach this Double Turbo Energy into your Greninja so that it could use Mirage Barrage, so that it could discard Double Turbo Energy. Be wary though that if you use Mirage Barrage using Double Turbo Energy, its damage is reduced to 100 instead of 120. A really nice card for those surprise knockouts on your opponent's Pokemon that they choose to evolve, or Pokemon that helps with their draw. Overall, nice card that can potentially be a game changer. Next, we have Collapsed Stadium, your stadium of choice. It makes so that both players' bench is only for Pokemon. It allows you to remove 2 prize Pokemon from your bench that you don't require anymore, for example, Rotom in the mid to late game, or sometimes even Cleffa, something like that, or to disrupt your opponent's large bench. Really nice card overall. TM Devolution, for those pesky 2-stage Pokemon like Charizard or Dragapult that choose to use Rare Candy. Here we have Forest Sealstone, a card that for your V-Star slot allows you to attach it onto your V Pokemon, for this case Rotom V, and it allows you to search any card in your deck and put it into your hand. Very nice card so that you can set up or potentially disrupt your opponent. Finally, for trainer cards, we have Rescue Board, a card that allows you and your Pokemon to get 1 less retreat cost, or if your Pokemon's HP is 30 or less, no retreat cost. It's a really nice card that allows you to get those basic Pokemon that you put into your active spot out of there, because most of the Greninja's Pokemon only have 1 retreat cost. Lastly, for energy, we have 5 Water Energy. 5 Water Energy is enough because Greninja's attack, Shinobi Blade, only requires 1 Water Energy. So, the lack of high amounts of energy is pretty much justified. Just be careful to manage your energy efficiently, and you can do it. Now, if you want, you can choose to change this deck however you like. But here are some recommendations if you wish to change this deck for your choice. You can replace Blood Moon or Saluna with Fezandipiti for a more reliable draw game. Because of this, you can also replace Cleffa for Pokemon like Manaphy or Jirachi if Sableye is what you're struggling with. If you want your deck to be more Froslass based, you can add more Irida at the cost of some other cards, because it allows you to get a more efficient grasp at Froslass. You can also add Munkidori if you really want to use Froslass to its maximum potential. But in this case, adding more Irida is enough. If you would so like, you could add more Double Turbo Energy, maybe 1, so that you could use Mirage Barrage many more times if you are fighting a lot of Pokemon that don't have Manaphy or decks that rely on Pokemon on their bench. Again, if you want to make a Froslass based Greninja deck, you can use Hyper Aroma instead of Unfair Stamp, so that you can get those Froslass into your bench more efficiently. So, Pokemon trainers, this is the conclusion. Greninja EX is a powerful deck against Pokemon that are weak to fighting. Like for example, the new Terapagos EX, Garvantula EX, or those electric type decks like Miraidon EX, Iron Hands EX, or Raikou EX. It can also one-shot KO Pokemon like Rotom and Fezandipiti. It also excels in Pokemon like Pekarant, Okidogi, and Munkidori. So, what do I think of its deck? I think it's really fun to use. Plus, all the Pokemon in this format that's weak to fighting, it may just have a fighting chance against those meta decks. But in conclusion, it's a fan deck because we love Greninja. It's a Pokemon that probably all of us like. So, who can blame you making a Greninja deck? So, Pokemon trainers, that concludes our Greninja deck review. So, I've been Dracut, and goodbye Pokemon trainers. Keep training.